your inner speech, match or no match. We can go all the way back to the Old Testament to find a reminder about our inner dialogue. For instance, as a man thinketh, so is he. Generally, we apply this idea of becoming what we think to our positive thoughts. That is, think positively and you'll produce positive results. But thinking also creates stumbling blocks that produce negative results. Below are 4 ways of thinking that can prevent you from reaching for and connecting to the universal, creative spirit of intention. 1. Thinking about what's missing in your life. To match up with intention, you first have to catch yourself in that moment you're thinking about what's missing. Then shift to intention. Not what I find missing in my life, but to what I absolutely intend to manifest and attract into my life, with no doubts, no waffling, and no explaining. Here are some suggestions to help you break the habit of focusing your thoughts on what's missing. Play a version of the match game and match up with the all-creating force. No match, I don't have enough money. Match, I intend to attract unlimited abundance into my life. No match, my partner is grouchy and boring. Match, I intend to focus my thoughts on what I love about my partner. No match, I'm not as attractive as I'd like to be. Match, I'm perfect in the eyes of God, a divine manifestation of the process of creation. No match, I don't have enough vitality and energy. Match, I'm a part of the ebb and flow of the limitless source of all life. This isn't a game of empty affirmations. It's a way of matching yourself to the power of intention and recognizing that what you think about expands. If you spend your time thinking about what's missing, then that's what expands in your life. Monitor your inner dialogue and match your thoughts to what you want and intend to create. 2. Thinking about the circumstances of your life. If you don't like some of the circumstances of your life, by all means, don't think about them. This may sound like a paradox to you. In this match game, you want to match up with the spirit of creation. You must train your imagination, which is the universal mind running through you, to shift from what you don't want to what you do want. All of that mental energy you spend complaining about what is, to anyone who will listen, is a magnet for attracting more of what is into your life. You, and only you, can overcome this impediment because you've put it on your path to intention. Simply change your inner speech to what you intend the new circumstances of your life to be. Practice thinking from the end by playing the match game and by realigning yourself with the field of intention. Here are some examples of a no match versus a match for the inner dialogue relating to the circumstances of your life. No match, I hate this place we're living in, it gives me the creeps. Match, I can see our new home in my mind, and I intend to be living in it within 6 months. No match, true, when I see myself in the mirror. I despise the fact that I'm nearsighted and out of shape. I'm placing this drawing of how I intend to look right here on my mirror. Match, no match, I dislike the work I'm doing and the fact that I'm not appreciated. Match, I'll act upon my inner intuitive impulses to create the work or job of my dreams. No match, I hate the fact that I'm sick so often and always seem to be getting colds. Match, I am divine health. I intend to act in healthy ways and attract the power to strengthen my immune system in every way I can. You must learn to assume responsibility for the circumstances of your life without any accompanying guilt. The circumstances of your life aren't the way they are because of karmic debt or because you're being punished. The circumstances of your life, including your health, are yours. Somehow they showed up in your life, so just assume that you participated in all of it. Your inner speech is uniquely your own creation, and it's responsible for attracting more of the circumstances that you don't want. Link up with intention, use your inner speech to stay focused on what you intend to create, and you'll find yourself regaining the power of your source. 3. Thinking about what has always been. When your inner speech focuses on the way things have always been, you act upon your thoughts of what has always been, and the universal all-creating force continues to deliver what has always been. Why? Because your imagination is a part of that which imagined you into existence. It's the force of creation, and you're using it to work against you with your inner speech. Imagine the absolute spirit thinking like this: I can't create life anymore because things haven't worked for me in the past. There have been so many mistakes in the past, and I can't stop thinking about them. How much creating do you think would occur if spirit imag ended in this way? How can you possibly connect to the power of intention if your thoughts, which are responsible for your intending, focus on all that's gone before which you abhor? The answer is obvious, and so is the solution. Make a shift and catch yourself when you're focusing on what always has been, and move your inner speech to what you intend to manifest. You'll get points in this match game by being on the same team as the absolute spirit. No match, I've always been poor. I was raised on shortages and scarcity. Match, I intend to attract wealth and prosperity in unlimited abundance. No match, we've always fought in this relationship. Match, I'll work at being peaceful and not allowing anyone to bring me down. No match, my children have never shown me any respect. I intend to teach my children to respect all of life, and I'll treat them in the same way. No match, I can't help feeling this way. It's my nature. I've always been this way. Match, I'm a divine creation capable of thinking like my creator. I intend to substitute love and kindness for feelings of inadequacy. It's my choice. The match items reflect a rapport with the originating spirit. The no-match statements represent interference that you've constructed to keep you from matching up with intention. Any thought that takes you backward is an impediment to manifesting desires. The highest functioning people understand that if you don't have a story, you don't have to live up to it. Get rid of any parts of your story that keep you focused on what has always been. 4. Thinking about what they want for you. There's probably a long list of people, most of them relatives, who have strong ideas about what you should be doing, how you should be thinking and worshiping, where you should be living, how you should be scheduling your life, and how much of your time you should be spending with them, especially on special occasions and holy days. Our definition of friendship thankfully excludes the manipulation and guilt that we so often put up with in our families. Inner dialogue that commiserates about the manipulative expectations of others ensures that this kind of conduct continues to flow into your life. If your thoughts are on what others expect of you, even though you despise their expectations, you'll continue to act on and attract more of what they want and expect for you. Removing the obstacle means that you decide to shift your inner speech to what you intend to create and attract into your life. You must do this with unserving intent and a commitment to not giving mental energy to what others feel about how you live your life. This can be a tough assignment at first, but you'll welcome the shift when you do it. Practice catching yourself when you have a thought of what others want for you and ask yourself, does this expectation match up with my own? If not, simply laugh at the absurdity of being upset or frustrated over the expectations of others about how you should be running your life. This is a way to match up and become impervious to the criticisms of others and simultaneously put a stop to the insidious practice of continuing to attract into your life something you don't want. But the big payoff is that these critics realize that their judgments and critiques are pointless, so they simply desist. A 3-for-1 bonus achieved by shifting your attention away from what others want or expect for you to how you want to live your life. Here are a few examples of how to win at the match game. No match, I'm so annoyed with my family. They just don't understand me and they never have. I love my family, they don't see things my way, but I don't expect them to. I'm totally focused on my own intentions and I send them love. No match, I make myself sick trying to please everyone else. I'm on purpose and doing what I signed up to do in this lifetime. No match, I feel so unappreciated by those I serve that match it sometimes makes me cry. I do what I do because it's my purpose and my destiny to do so. No match, no matter what I do or say, it seems as if I can't win. Match, I do what my heart tells me to do with love, kindness, and beauty. Your level of energy, match or no match. A scientist will tell you that energy is measured by speed and the size of the wave being created. The size of the wave is measured from low to high and slow to fast. Anything else that we attribute to the conditions we see in our world is a judgment imposed upon those pulsating frequencies. That being said, I'd like to introduce a judgment of my own here. Higher energy is better than lower energy. Why? Because this is a book written by a man who stands for healing, love, kindness, health, abundance, beauty. compassion, and similar expressions, and these expressions are associated with higher and faster energies. The impact of higher and faster frequencies on lower and slower frequencies can be measured, and it's in this regard that you can make a huge impact on eradicating the energy factors in your life that are obstructing your connection to intention. The purpose of moving up the frequency ladder is to change your vibratory level of energy so that you're at the higher and faster frequencies, where your energy level matches up with the highest frequencies of all the energy of the all, creating spirit of intention itself. It was Albert Einstein who observed, "Nothing happens until something moves. Everything in this universe is a movement of energy. Higher, faster energy dissolves and converts lower, slower energy." With this in mind, I'd like you to consider yourself and all of your thoughts in the context of being an energy system. That's right, you're an energy system, not just a system of bones, fluids, and cells, but actually a multitude of energy systems encapsulating an inner energy system of thoughts, feelings, and emotions. This energy system that you are can be measured and calibrated. Every thought you have can be energetically calibrated, along with its impact on your body and your environment. The higher your energy, the more capable you are of nullifying and converting lower energies, which weaken you, and impacting in a positive way everyone in your immediate and even distant surroundings. The objective in this section is to become aware of your own energy level and the actual frequencies of thought that you regularly employ in daily life. You can become proficient at raising your energy level and permanently obliterate energetic expressions that weaken or inhibit your connection to intention. Ultimately, your goal is to have a perfect match with the highest frequency of all. Here's a simple explanation of the 5 levels of energy that you work with, moving from the lowest and slowest frequencies to the highest and fastest. 1. The material world. Solid form is energy slowed down so that it's approximately commensurate with your sense perception of the world of boundaries. Everything that you see and touch is energy slowed down so that it appears to be coalesced mass. Your eyes and your fingers agree, and there you have the physical world. 2. The sound world. You seldom perceive sound waves with your eyes, but they can actually be felt. These invisible waves are also high, low, and fast, slow. This sound level of energy is where you connect to the highest frequencies of spirit through the practice of japa meditation, or the repetition of the sound of God, as I've written about extensively in Getting in the Gap. 3. The light world. Light moves faster than the material world and faster than sound, yet there are no actual particles to form a substance called light. What you see as red is what your eye perceives a certain pulsating frequency to be, and what you perceive as violet is an even faster and higher frequency. When light is brought to darkness, darkness becomes light. The implications for this are startling. Low energy when faced with high energy experiences an automatic conversion. 4. The thought world. Your thoughts are an extremely high frequency of pulsation that moves beyond the speed of sound and even light. The frequency of thoughts can be measured, and the impact that they have on your body and your environment can be calculated. Once again, the same rules apply. Higher frequencies nullify lower, faster energies convert slower. A colleague I admire enormously, David Hawkins, MD, has written a work which I've referenced often called Power vs. Force. In this remarkable book, Dr. Hawkins elaborates on the lower frequencies of thought and their accompanying emotions, and how they can be impacted and converted by exposure to higher and faster frequencies. I urge you to read his book, and I'll present some of those findings in the section on raising your energy levels. Every thought you have can be calculated to determine if it's strengthening or weakening your ability to reconnect to the highest and fastest energy in the universe. 5. The spirit world. Here is the ultimate in energy. These frequencies are so supersonically rapid that the presence of disorder, disharmony, and even disease is impossible. These measurable energies consist of the 7 faces of intention written about throughout the pages of this book. They are the energies of creation. When you reproduce them in yourself, you reproduce the same creative quality of life that called you into existence. They are the qualities of creativity, kindness, love, beauty, expansion, peace, full abundance, and receptivity. These are the highest energies of the universal spirit itself. You came into existence from this energy, and you can match up with it energetically as you remove the low energy pulsations from your thoughts and feelings. Consider these words of the Nobel Prize winning physicist Max Planck as he accepted his award for his study of the atom. He's a man who has devoted his whole life to the most clear-headed science, to the study of matter. I can tell you, as the result of my research about atoms, this much: there is no matter as such. All matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force which brings the particles of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system of the atom together. We must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. It is to this mind that I urge you to match up, raising your energy level. Every thought you have has an energy that will either strengthen or weaken you. It's obviously a good idea to eliminate the thoughts that weaken you, since these thoughts are obstacles to creating a winning match with the universal, supreme source of intention. Take a moment to ponder the meaning behind Anthony de Mello's observation in 1 Minute Wisdom. Why is everyone here so happy except me? Because they have learned to see goodness and beauty everywhere, said the master. Why don't I see goodness and beauty everywhere? Because you cannot see outside of you what you fail to see inside. What you may fail to see inside is a result of how you choose to process everything and everyone in your world. You project onto the world what you see inside, and you fail to project into the world what you fail to see inside. If you knew that you were an expression of the universal spirit of intention, that's what you'd see. You'd raise your energy level beyond any possibility of income, branches to your connection to the power of intention. It is only discord acting within your own feelings that will ever deprive you of every good thing that life holds for you. If you understand this simple observation, you'll curb interferences to intention. There's a vibratory action to your thoughts, your feelings, and your body. I'm asking you to increase those frequencies so they're high enough to allow you to connect to the power of intention. This may sound like an oversimplification, but I hope you'll try raising your energy level as a way to remove the obstacles that prevent you from experiencing the perfection you're a part of. You cannot remedy anything by condemning it. You only add to the destructive energy that's already permeating the atmosphere of your life. When you react to the lower energies you encounter with your own low energies, you're actually setting up a situation that attracts more of that lower energy. For example, if someone behaves in a hateful manner towards you, and you respond by hating them for hating you, you're participating in a lower energy field and impacting all who enter that field. If you're angry at those around you for being angry people, you're attempting to remedy the situation through condemnation. Don't use weakening energies employed by those around you. Other people can't bring you down if you're operating at the higher energies. Why? Because higher and faster energies nullify and convert lower, slower energies, not the reverse. If you feel that the lower energies of those around you are bringing you down, it's because you're joining them at their energy levels. Your unbending intention may be to be slim and healthy. You know that the universal all-creative spirit brought you into existence in that microscopic dot of human cellular tissue, not to be sickly, overweight, or unattractive, but to create love. Be kind and express beauty. This is what the power of intention intended for you to become. Now get this. You cannot attract attractiveness into your life by hating anything about what you've allowed yourself to become. Why? Because hatred creates a counter force of hatred that disempowers your efforts. Here is how Dr. Hawkins describes it in Power vs. Force. Simple kindness to oneself and all that lives is the most powerful transformational force of all. It produces no backlash, has no downside, and never leads to loss or despair. It increases one's own true power without exacting any toll. But to reach maximum power, such kindness can permit no exceptions, nor can it be practiced with the expectation of some selfish reward. And its effect is as far-reaching as it is subtle. Here note that kindness is one of the 7 faces of intention. And he adds further, that which is injurious loses its capacity to harm when it is brought into the light. And we attract to us that which we emanate. The lesson is clear in terms of removing lower energy obstacles. We must raise ourselves to the levels of energy where we are the light we seek, where we are the happiness we desire, where we are the love we feel is missing, where we are the unlimited abundance we crave. By being it, we attract it to us. By condemning its absence, We ensure that condemnation and discord will continue to flow into our lives. If you're experiencing scarcity, anguish, depression, an absence of love, or any inability to attract what you desire, seriously look at how you've been attracting these circumstances into your life. Low energy is an attractor pattern. It shows up because you've sent for it. Even if on a subconscious level, it's still yours and you own it. However, if you practice deliberately raising your energy level by being cognizant of your immediate environment, you'll move rather rapidly toward intention and remove all of those self-imposed roadblocks. The obstacles are in the low energy spectrum. A mini program for raising your energy vibrations. Here's a short list of suggestions for moving your energy field to a higher, faster vibration. This will help you accomplish the twofold objective of removing the barriers and allowing the power of intention to work with and through you. Become conscious of your thoughts. Every thought you have impacts you. By shifting in the middle of a weakening thought to one that strengthens, you raise your energy vibration and strengthen yourself and the immediate energy field. For example, in the midst of saying something to one of my teenage children that was intended to make feel ashamed of her conduct, I stopped and reminded myself that there's no remedy in condemnation. I proceeded to extend love and understanding by asking her how she felt about herself, defeating behavior, and what she'd like to do to correct it. The shift raised the energy level and led to a productive conversation. Raising the energy level to a place where my daughter and I connected to the power of intention took place in a split second of my becoming aware of my low energy thinking and making a decision to raise it. We all have the ability to call this presence and power of intention into action when we become conscious of our thoughts. Make meditation a regular practice in your life. Even if it's only for a few moments each day while sitting at a stoplight, this practice is vital. Take some time to be silent and repeat the sound of God as an inner mantra. Meditation allows you to make concise contact with your source and regain the power of intention by assisting you in cultivating a receptivity that matches up with the force of creation. Become conscious of the foods you eat. There are foods that calibrate low, and there are high-energy foods as well. Foods with toxic chemicals sprayed on them will make you weak, even if you have no idea that the toxins are present. Artificial foods such as sweeteners are low-energy products. In general, foods high in alkalinity such as fruits, vegetables, nuts, soy, naan, yeast breads, and virgin olive oil calibrate at the high end and will strengthen you on muscle testing, while highly acidic foods such as flavonoids, meats, dairy, and sugars calibrate at the lower energies, which will weaken you. This is not an absolute for everyone, however. You can detect how you feel after consuming certain foods. And if you feel weak, lethargic, and fatigued, you can be pretty sure you've allowed yourself to become a low-energy system, which will attract more of the same low energy into your life. Retreat from low-energy substances. I discussed in Chapter 1 how I learned that total sobriety was absolutely essential for me to achieve the level of consciousness I crave and was destined to achieve. Alcohol and virtually all artificial drugs, legal and otherwise, lower your body's energy level and weaken you. Furthermore, they put you in a position to continue to attract more distempo, earning energy into your life. Simply by consuming low-energy substances, you'll find people with similar low energy showing up regularly in your life. They'll want to buy those substances for you, party with you as you get high, and urge you to do it again after your body recovers from the devastation of these low-energy substances. Become conscious of the energy level of the music you listen to. Harsh pounding musical vibrations with repetitive, loud sounds lower your energy level and weaken you and your ability to make conscious contact with intention. Similarly, the lyrics of hate, pain, anguish, fear, and violence are low energies sending weakening messages to your subconscious, infiltrating your life with similar attractor energies. If you want to attract violence, then listen to the lyrics of violence and make violent music a part of your life. If you want to attract peace and love, then listen to the higher musical vibrations and lyrics that reflect your desires. Become aware of the energy levels of your home environment. Prayers, paintings, crystals, spiritual passages, books, magazines, the colors on your walls, and even the arrangement of your furniture all create energy into which you're catapulted for at least half of your waking life. While this may seem silly or absurd, I urge you to transcend your conditioned thinking and have a mind that's open to everything. The ancient Chinese art of feng shui has been with us for thousands of years and is a gift from our ancestors. It describes ways to increase the energy field of our home and workplace. Become aware of how being in high-energy surroundings impacts us in ways that strengthen our lives and remove barriers to our connection to intention. Reduce your exposure to the very low energy of commercial and cable television. Children in America see 12,000 simulated murders in their living room before their 14th birthday. Television news programming puts a heavy emphasis on bringing the bad and the ugly into your home, and in large part, leaving out the good. It's a constant stream of negativity that invades your living space and attracts more of the same into your life. Violence is the main ingredient of television entertainment, interspersed with commercial breaks sponsored by the huge drug cartels telling us that happiness is found in their pills. The viewing public is told that it needs all sorts of low-energy medicines to overcome every mental and physical malady known to humankind. My conclusion is that the majority of television shows provide a steady stream of low energy most of the time. This is one of the reasons I've elected to devote a significant portion of my time and efforts in support of non-commercial public television and help replace messages of negativity, hopelessness, violence, profanity, and disrespect with the higher principles that match up with the principle of intention. Enhance your energy field with photographs. You may find it difficult to believe that photography is a form of energy reproduction and that every photograph contains energy. See for yourself by strategically placing photographs taken in moments of happiness, love, and receptivity to spiritual help around your living quarters, in your workplace, in your automobile, and even on your clothing or in a pocket or wallet. Arrange photographs of nature, animals, and expressions of joy and love in your environment, and let their energy radiate into your heart and provide you with their higher frequency. Become conscious of the energy levels of your acquaintances, friends, and extended family. You can raise your own energy levels by being in the energy field of others who resonate closely to spiritual consciousness. Choose to be in close proximity to people who are empowering, who appeal to your sense of connection to intention, who see the greatness in you, who feel connected to God, and who live a life that gives evidence that spirit has found celebration through them. Recall that higher energy nullifies and converts lower energy, so be conscious of being in the presence of and interacting with higher energy people who are connected to spirit and living the life they were intended to. Stay in the energy field of higher energy people, and your anger, hate, fear, and depression will melt, magically converting to the higher expressions of intention. Monitor your activities and where they take place. Avoid low energy fields where there's excessive alcohol, drug consumption, or violent behavior, and gatherings where religious or ethnic exclusion and vitriolic prejudice or judgment are the focus. All of these kinds of venues discourage you from raising your energy and encourage you to match up with lower, debilitating energy. Immerse yourself in nature, appreciating its beauty, spending time camping, hiking, swimming, taking nature walks, and reveling in the natural world. Attend lectures on spirituality, take a yoga class, give or receive a massage, visit monasteries or meditation centers, and commit to helping others in need with visits to the elderly in geriatric centers or sick children in hospitals. Every activity has an energy field. Choose to be in places where the energy fields reflect the 7 faces of intention. Extend acts of kindness, asking for nothing in return. Anonymously extend financial aid to those less fortunate and do it from the kindness of your heart, expecting not even a thank you. Activate your magnificent obsession by learning to be kind while keeping your ego, which expects to be told how wonderful you are, out of the picture completely. This is an essential activity for connecting to intention because the universal all-creating spirit returns acts of kindness with the response, "How may I be kind to you?" Pick up some litter and place it in a proper receptacle and tell no one about your actions. In fact, spend several hours doing nothing but cleaning and clearing out messes that you didn't create. Any act of kindness extended toward yourself, others, or your environment matches you up with the kindness inherent in the universal power of intention. It's an energizer for you and causes this kind of energy to flow back into your life. This poignant story, The Valentine by Ruth McDonald, illustrates the kind of giving I'm suggesting here. The little boy Sim belies the magnificent obsession I just referred to. He was a shy little boy, not very popular with the other children in grade 1. As Valentine's Day approached, his mother was delighted when he asked her one evening to sit down and write the names of all the children in his class so that he could make a valentine for each. Slowly he remembered each name aloud, and his mother recorded them on a piece of paper. He worried endlessly for fear he would forget someone. Armed with a book of valentines to cut out, with scissors and crayons and paste, he plotted his conscientious way down the list. When each one was finished, his mother printed the name on a piece of paper and watched him laboriously copy it. As the pile of finished valentines grew, so did his satisfaction. About this time, his mother began to worry whether the other children would make valentines for him. He hurried home so fast each afternoon to get on with his task that it seemed likely the other children playing along the street would forget his existence altogether. How absolutely horrible if he went off to the party armed with 37 tokens of love and no one had remembered him. She wondered if there were some way she could sneak a few valentines among those he was making, so that he would be sure of receiving at least a few. But he watched his hoard so jealously and counted them over so lovingly that there was no chance to slip in an extra. She assumed a mother's most normal role, that of patient waiting. The day of the Valentine box finally arrived, and she watched him trudge off down the snowy street, a box of heart-shaped cookies in one hand, a shopping bag clutched in the other with 37 neat tokens of his labor. She watched him with a burning heart. Please God, she prayed, let him get at least a few. All afternoon her hands were busy here and there, but her heart was at the school. At 3:30 she took her knitting and sat with studied coincidence in a chair that gave a full view of the street. Finally, he appeared alone. Her heart sank. Up the street he came, turning every once in a while to back up a few steps into the wind. She strained her eyes to see his face. At that distance it was just a rosy blur. It was not until he turned in at the walk that she saw it. The one lone valentine clutched in his little red mitt. Only one. After all his work. And from the teacher probably. The knitting blurred before her eyes. If only you could stand between your child and life. She laid down her work and walked to meet him at the door. What rosy cheeks, she said. Here, let me untie your scarf. Were the cookies good? He turned toward her, a face shining with happiness and complete fulfillment. Do you know what? He said. I didn't forget a one. Not a single one. Be specific when you affirm your intentions to raise your energy level and create your desires. Place your affirmations in strategic places where you'll notice and read them throughout the day. For example, I intend to attract the job I desire into my life. I intend to be able to afford the specific automobile I envision myself driving by the 30th of next month. I intend to donate 2 hours of my time this week to the underprivileged. I intend to heal myself of this persistent fatigue. Written affirmations have an energy of their own and will guide you in raising your energy level. I practice this myself. A woman named Lynn Hall, who lives in Toronto, sent me a beautiful plaque that I look at each day. In her letter, she stated, "Here is a gift for you, written solely for you in an effort to convey heartfelt gratitude for the blessing of your presence in my life." That said, I am sure that the sentiment is a universal one, speaking for every other soul on the planet who has experienced the same good fortune. May the light and love that you emit forever reflect back to you in joyful abundance, Dr. Dyer. The beautiful etched in soul plaque reads like this: Spirit has found great voice in you. In vibrant truths and joyful splendor, Spirit has found revelation through you. In resonant and reflective ways, Spirit has found celebration through you in infinite expanses and endless reach. To all those awakened, your grace, your gifts, Spirit has found both wings and light. I read these words daily to remind me of my connection to Spirit and allow the words to flow from my heart to yours, fulfilling my intentions and hopefully helping you do the same. As frequently as possible, hold thoughts of forgiveness in your mind. In muscle testing, when you hold a thought of revenge, you'll go weak, while a thought of forgiveness keeps you strong. Revenge, anger, and hatred are exceedingly low energies that keep you from matching up with the attributes of the universal force. A simple thought of forgiveness toward anyone who may have angered you in the past, without any action taken on your part, will raise you to the level of spirit and aid you in your individual intentions. You can either serve spirit with your mind or use that same mind to divorce yourself from spirit. Married to the 7 faces of spiritual intention, you connect to that power. Divorced, your self-importance, your ego takes over. Here's the final obstacle to making your connection to intention: your self-importance in the fire from within. Carlos Castaneda hears these words from his sorcerer teacher. Self-importance is man's greatest enemy. What weakens him is feeling offended by the deeds and misdeeds of his fellow man. Self-importance requires that one spend most of one's life offended by something or someone. This is a major impediment to connecting to intention. You can all too easily create a no match here. Basically, your feelings of self-importance are what make you feel special. So let's deal with this concept of being special. It's essential that you have a strong self-concept and that you feel unique. The problem is when you misidentify who you truly are by identifying yourself as your body, your achievements, and your pose sessions. Then you identify people who have accomplished less as inferior, and your self-important superiority causes you to be constantly offended in one way or another. This misidentification is the source of most of your problems, as well as most of the problems of humankind. Feeling special leads us to our self-importance. Castaneda writes later in his life, many years after his initial emergence into the world of sorcery, about the futility of self-importance. The more I thought about it, and the more I talked to and observed myself and my fellow men, the more intense the conviction that something was rendering us incapable of any activity or any interaction or any thought that didn't have the self as its focal point. With the self as a focal point, you sustain the illusion that you are your body, which is a completely separate entity from all others. This sense of separateness leads you to compete rather than cooperate with everyone else. Ultimately, it's a no match with spirit, and becomes a huge obstacle to your connection to the power of intention. In order to relinquish your self-importance, you'll have to become aware of how entrenched it is in your life. Ego is simply an idea of who you are that you carry around with you. As such, it can't be surgically removed by having an egoectomy. This idea of who you think you are will persistently erode any possible idea you have of connecting to intention. 7 steps for overcoming ego's hold on you. Here are 7 suggestions to help you transcend ingrained ideas of self-importance. All of these are designed to help prevent you from falsely identifying with the self-important ego. 1. Stop being offended. The behavior of others isn't a reason to be immobilized. That which offends you only weakens you. If you're looking for occasions to be offended, you'll find them at every turn. This is your ego at work convincing you that the world shouldn't be the way it is. But you can become an appreciator of life and match up with the universal spirit of creation. You can't reach the power of intention by being offended. By all means, act to eradicate the horrors of the world which emanate from massive ego identification, but stay in peace. As A Course in Miracles reminds us, peace is of God. You who are part of God are not at home except in His peace. Being offended creates the same destructive energy that offended you in the first place and leads to attack, counterattack, and war. 2. Let go of your need to win. Ego loves to divide us up into winners and losers. The pursuit of winning is a surefire means to avoid conscious contact with intention. Why? Because ultimately, winning is impossible all of the time. Someone out there will be faster, luckier, younger, stronger, and smarter, and back you'll go to feeling worthless and insignificant. You're not your winnings or your victories. You may enjoy competing and have fun in a world where winning is everything, but you don't have to be there in your thoughts. There are no losers in a world where we all share the same energy source. All you can say on a given day is that you performed at a certain level in comparison to the levels of others on that day. But today is another day with other competitors and new circumstances to consider. You're still the infinite presence in a body that's another day or decade older. Let go of needing to win by not agreeing that the opposite of winning is losing. That's ego's fear. If your body isn't performing in a winning fashion on this day, it simply doesn't matter when you aren't identifying exclusively with your ego. Be the observer, nodding and enjoying it all without needing to win a trophy. Be at peace and match up with the energy of intention. And ironically, although you'll hardly notice it, more of those victories will show up in your life as you pursue them less. 3. Let go of your need to be right. Ego is the source of a lot of conflict and dissension because it pushes you in the direction of making other people wrong. When you're hostile, you've disconnected from the power of intention. The creative spirit is kind, loving, and receptive, and free of anger, resentment, or bitterness. Letting go of your need to be right in your latest discussions is like saying to ego, I'm not a slave to you. I want to embrace kindness, and I reject your need to be right. In fact, I'm going to offer this person a chance to feel better by saying that she's right and thank her for pointing me in the direction of truth. When you let go of the need to be right, you're able to strengthen your connection to the power of intention. But keep in mind that ego is a determined combatant. I've seen people willing to die rather than let go of being right. I've seen people end other wise, beautiful relationships by sticking to their need to be right. I urge you to let go of this ego-driven need to be right by stopping yourself in the middle of an argument and asking yourself, do I want to be right or be happy? When you choose the happy, loving, spiritual mode, your connection to intention is strengthened. These moments ultimately expand your new connection to the power of intention. The universal source will begin to collaborate with you in creating the life you were intended to live. 4. Let go of your need to be superior. True nobility isn't about being better than someone else. It's about being better than you used to be. Stay focused on your growth with a constant awareness that no one on this planet is any better than anyone else. We all emanate from the same creative life force. We all have a sign to realize our intended essence. All that we need to fulfill our destiny is available to us. None of this is possible when you see yourself as superior to others. It's an old saw, but nonetheless true. We are all equal in the eyes of God. Let go of your need to feel superior by seeing the unfolding of God in everyone. Don't assess others on the basis of their appearance, achievements, possessions, and other indices of ego. When you project feelings of superiority, that's what you get back, leading to resentments and ultimately hostile feelings. These feelings become the vehicle that takes you farther away from intention. A Course in Miracles addresses this need to be special and superior. Specialness always makes comparisons. It is established by a lack seen in another and maintained by searching for and keeping clear in sight all lacks it can perceive. 5. Let go of your need to have more. The mantra of the ego is more. It's never satisfied. No matter how much you achieve or acquire, your ego will insist that it isn't enough. You'll find yourself in a perpetual state of striving and eliminate the possibility of ever arriving. Yet in reality, you've already arrived, and how you choose to use this present moment of your life is your choice. Ironically, when you stop needing more of what you desire seems to arrive in your life. Since you're detached from the need for it, you find it easier to pass it along to others, because you realize how little you need in order to be satisfied and at peace. The universal source is content with itself, constantly expanding and creating new life, never trying to hold on to its creations for its own selfish means. It creates and lets go. As you let go of ego's need to have more, you unify with that source. You create, attract to yourself, and let it go, never demanding that more come your way. As an appreciator of all that shows up, you learn the powerful lesson Francis of Assisi taught. It is in giving that we receive. By allowing abundance to flow to and through you, you match up with your source and guarantee that this energy will continue to flow. 6. Let go of identifying yourself on the basis of your achievements. This may be a difficult concept if you think you are your achievements. God writes all the music, God sings all the songs, God builds all the buildings. God is the source of all your achievements. I can hear your ego loudly protesting. Nevertheless, stay tuned to this idea. All emanates from source. You and that source are one. You're not this body and its accomplishments. You are the observer, Notice it all and be grateful for the abilities you've been given, the motiva trying to achieve, and the stuff you've accumulated. But give all the credit to the power of intention, which brought you into existence and which you're a materialized part of. The less you need to take credit for your achievements, and the more connected you stay to the 7 faces of intention, the more you're free to achieve, and the more will show up for you. It's when you attach yourself to those achievements and believe that you alone are doing all of those things that you leave the peace and the gratitude of your source. 7. Let go of your reputation. Your reputation is not located in you. It resides in the minds of others. Therefore, you have no control over it at all. If you speak to 30 people, you will have 30 reputations. Connecting to intention means listening to your heart and conducting yourself based on what your inner voice tells you is your purpose here. If you're overly concerned with how you're going to be perceived by everyone, then you've disconnected yourself from intention and allowed the opinions of others to guide you. This is your ego at work. It's an illusion that stands between you and the power of intention. There's nothing you can't do unless you disconnect from the power source and become convinced that your purpose is to prove to others how masterful and superior you are, and spend your energy attempting to win a giant reputation among other egos. Do what you do because your inner voice, always connected to and grateful to your source, so directs you. Stay on purpose, detach from outcome, and take responsibility for what does reside in you, your character. Leave your reputation for others to debate. It has nothing to do with you. Or as a book title says, what you think of me is none of my business. This concludes the 3 major obstacles to your connecting to intention: your thoughts, your energy, and your self-importance. Here are 5 suggestions for overcoming the obstacles and staying permanently connected to the power of intention. 5 suggestions for implementing the ideas in this chapter 1. Monitor your inner dialogue. Notice how much of your inner speech focuses on what's missing, the negative circumstances, the past, and the opinions of others. The more cognizant you become of your inner speech, the sooner you'll be able to shift right in the midst of those habitual inner proceedings. From a thought of I resent what's missing to I intend to attract what I want and stop thinking about what I dislike. That new inner dialogue becomes the link connecting you to intention. 2. Lighten moments of doubt and depression. Notice the moments that aren't a part of your higher nature. Reject thoughts that support an inability on your part to match up with intention. Remain faithful to the light is good advice. Recently, a friend and teacher learned of a struggle I was personally going through and wrote to me, "Remember, Wayne, the sun is shining behind the clouds. Be faithful to the light that's always there." 3. Be aware of low energy. Recall that everything, which includes your thoughts, has an energy frequency that can be calibrated to determine whether it will strengthen or weaken you. When you find yourself either thinking in low energy ways or immersed in low, weakening energy, resolve to bring a higher vibration to the presence of that debilitating situation. 4. Talk to your ego and let it know that it has no control over you today. In my children's bedroom here on Maui, I've framed the following observation which they see each morning. While they joke and laugh about it, they get the essential message and share it out loud when anyone, including me, gets upset during the day. Good morning, this is God. I will be handling all of your problems today. I will not need your help, so have a miraculous day. 5. View obstacles as opportunities to circulate the power of your unbending intent. Unbending means just what it says. I intend to stay connected to my source and thereby gain the power of my source. This means being at peace, detaching yourself from the circumstances, and seeing yourself as the observer rather than the victim. Then turning it all over to your source and knowing that you'll receive the guidance and assistance you require. There is a level of awareness available to you that you are probably unfamiliar with. It extends upwards and transcends the ordinary level of consciousness that you're most accustomed to. At this higher plane of existence, which you can access at will, the fulfillment of wishes is not only probable, it's guaranteed. At this level, your wishes, all of them, can indeed be fulfilled. by using your imagination and practicing the art of assuming the feeling of your wishes being fulfilled, and steadfastly refusing to allow any evidence of the outer world to distract you from your intentions, you will discover that you, by virtue of your spiritual awareness, possess the ability to become the person you were destined to be. What follows is simply a preparation for entering into that realm wherein you have much more say over what comes into your life than you might have envisioned. Read and apply these 13 habits into your own life, and you will soon be well on your way to creating your own destiny. Habit 1. Believe you are an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. The first step to learning to manifest your reality is you must create a new concept of yourself as an infinite spiritual being having a temporary human experience. The I that I use to describe myself is not so as that he insists in staying in one body. In fact, that I that is me finally recognizes that ancient spiritual truth spoken by divine masters since antiquity. None of us are really doing anything. Rather, our bodies are merely being done. Now, this I that you use to describe yourself isn't the physical form that you occupy and take with you everywhere. The I is your higher self, changeless and real. Habit 2. True, become the observer of your thoughts. You become what you think about. If you think about giving as God does, the universe will provide. If you think about things being taken away, then that's what you'll attract. If you want to manifest your dreams, you must become a master at monitoring the thoughts and feelings you are aligning yourself with. Your thoughts and feelings become your reality, so become adept at observing the thoughts and feelings you are creating for yourself. Habit 3. Release your imagination from current limiting circumstances. Do not let your imagination be restricted to the current conditions of your life, or what I call being obsessed with what is. Keep reminding yourself that everything that you've believed has gotten you to precisely the point where you are now. This is a rather persistent theme in my work, so it bears repeating here. If you want to elevate your life and become a manifester, then you have to change what you've believed to be true about yourself that has landed you where you are. The sentiments of this is reality. This is just the way things are. There is nothing that I can do to change what is, and the like are pernicious thoughts that will taint and defile your great gift of I am that I am, which is your divine inheritance from your Creator. Habit 4. See your wish as already accomplished. In my mind, I see my wishes as already having been accomplished. I experience what that feels like, savoring the feeling in my body. I stay in a profound state of gratitude for my wish having been already realized, as if it already were brought into being. My prayer is without effort, rather it is felt as an already accomplished fact. Habit 5. Believe in your own divine power. The words of all the great spiritual teachers encourage us to see ourselves as unlimited and to know that even the least among us has the divine power of God available at every moment of our lives. I know that you, if you practice studiously, can begin to manifest for yourself virtually anything that you are capable of conceiving in your mind. You must unplug from your conditioning and know in that private space behind your eyes that you can and will take on the challenge of manifesting your destiny. It is my belief that you are never given the power to dream without the equivalent power to manifest that dream and make it your physical reality. Habit 6. Remain independent of the good opinion of other people, remain independent of the good opinion of others, and keep yourself fixed on your ability to attract whatever it is that you previously thought was missing in your life. When you trust yourself to decide what is to be your destiny, you don't allow externals to discourage or influence you. What you place your attention on is your burning desire and intense yearning combined with an intention to make that your reality. You never allow outside circumstances to deflect you from your desires. This inner picture in your imagination is undisturbed by opinions or provocations that originate outside of yourself. Habit 7. Reconstruct your I ams. The thoughts that you dwell on determine what you will possess or not possess. What you think about is what you will become. Examine all the supposed lacks and scarcities in your life. Then say to yourself, I created all of this with my thoughts, conditioning, beliefs, and actions. Run through as large an inventory as you can of the things that you would like to define your life. Then make the shift in your imagination from I am not or I am hoping to become to I am. In the book of Joel, the Lord's advice is in harmony with this practice. Let the weak say, I am strong. It's Joel 3:2. It is truly as simple as these 7 words form the Bible advise. You want what follows I am to be congruent with your highest self, which is God. Beginning with your inner dialogue, simply change the words that define your concept of yourself. Habit 8. Be patient and banish doubt. If exercising your imagination feels difficult to do, perhaps due to a life where the imagination has played servant to your logical faculties, be infinitely patient with your attempts at imagining your wish fulfilled. Cultivate infinite patience with yourself, never being dissatisfied with the speed or the manner in which your intentions are manifesting. When you banish all doubt in favor of faith, there's nothing more powerful on this planet. If you truly understand the ability to manifest, you realize you can control the speed at which change occurs in your life. Henry David Thoreau said, You will meet with a success unexpected in common hours." Thoreau suggests that the universe will begin to conspire with you to fulfill your wishes. This is the law of co-creation. When you trust in yourself, you are not looking for solutions to your life problems in someone or something outside yourself. Instead, you remain in a state of trusting. Then in a trustworthy manner, you can proceed to attract the energy to you that provides the solution. Habit 9. Align yourself with the feeling of the wish fulfilled. When you put aside your doubts, you can begin to imagine in both mind and body what it will feel like to have your wishes fulfilled. Think about what you plan to manifest. Then use your imagination to feel what that feels like in your body. Does it feel natural to you? Does it really feel like this is the you that you are deciding to be? By staying only with what your senses tell you is your reality, you place a barrier to letting your imagination create all that you wish for. Your imagination is unlimited. Albert Einstein made this astute observation. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Your logic, the facts that you've accepted as true, have gotten you to point B. Now you're going to reprogram your imagination to take you everywhere that you are brave enough to envision for yourself. Habit 10. Take stock of how natural your dream feels to you. The time it takes your desire to become reality is directly proportional to the naturalness of being it. The more natural an experience your wish feels for you, the faster you will create it in your life. Conversely, the more unnatural a state of being feels to you, the longer it will take to achieve. The key word to contemplate is feels. If being healthy, prosperous, happy, successful, strong, intelligent, and so on currently feel unnatural to you, naturalness may yet be achieved by persistently using your imagination and your subjective attention to make this feeling stick. If it is your burning desire to become a professional basketball player, ask yourself how natural it feels to you to be on the court, competing at the professional level. If this feels unnatural to you, you may eventually, with persistence, achieve this wish fulfilled, but only until you have become so aligned with that experience that it feels completely natural to dunk a basketball and sink a free throw. Habit 11. Phrase your intentions as given statements. When you place an intention in your imagination, do not allow a question mark at the end of your pronouncement. See your statement ending in a grammatical exclamation point. I bring this into my reality. It's easy to say if you're already living from that declaration in your imagination and have assumed the feeling in your body of that wish being fulfilled. Remain confident that through continued reliance on your imagination, your assumptions are materializing into reality. Habit 12. Choose your reality with love. When you attempt to manifest from a place of selfishness or potential harm to anyone else, you invoke the ego. The ego is always about winning, overpowering, being better than others, accumulating for the sake of feeling superior, achieving adulation or recognition, improving your status, and so on. So the secret is to feel yourself as already being and having what you desire, and to keep the entirety of it all wrapped up in a spirit of love. Always weigh your choices on the scales of love. Habit 33. Know that what you already have is enough. When you stop needing more of everything, more of what you desire seems to arrive in your life. Try this now. Feel gratitude for everything you have in this moment. Know that this is enough. Becoming more of who you are, our creative power is the ability to convert the energy of our thoughts into a newly materialized form. Manifestation is the result. Beginning with one intention at a time, you can learn how to manifest anything in your life. Think of yourself as a consciousness being played out by God, just as a wave is part of the ocean that is being played out by the ocean. This theory of nature will promote the kind of trust that you need to attract to yourself all that belongs to you in the universe. You cannot receive it or even come close to manifesting it if you have an absence of trust in yourself as an extension of God. Manifesting then becomes the business of doing nothing more than bringing into form a new aspect of yourself. You are not creating something from nothing. You are learning to align yourself with an aspect of your being that your senses have not known they could activate. When you know your highest self, you are on your way to becoming a co-creator of your entire world, learning to manage the circumstances of your life and participating with assurance in the act of creation. You literally become a manifester. This may appear to contradict the ask and you shall receive version of prayer that you were likely exposed to. It may feel new, but it is so important that you acknowledge your own divine role in the fulfillment of your spirituality-aligned desires for yourself and others. I send you the green light.